Hey guys, welcome to Get in the Mix and our latest unboxing and first impressions video. Today we're going to be looking at the DDJ-200, Pioneer's first wireless controller made specifically for tablets and phones. However, not exclusively, as it still will work with a MacBook or a PC. Now, I think first things first, let's just open it up and see what's inside. So, we've got a little USB and little headphone splitter type deal. Got some instructions, nice quick start guide, which is always handy. Got a little advert for one of the apps that runs on it, DJ. Another little advert for another one of the apps that runs with it, edjing. Did I say that right? Probably not, probably said that completely wrong. And some more Pioneer paperwork. So let's slot her out. We'll get rid of the box for now. We'll pop her down there. Take off the polystyrene. See you later, mate. All right, and here she is. Now, the first thing I think to notice is the stark contrast between the look of this and the look of some of Pioneer's other controllers, in particular the DDJ-400, which handily we've got right here behind us. Now I'll hold these up for the camera so you can see them. And right, so you can see they're very similar units. In fact, looking at it, you know, I feel like all this one is missing is the looping section that you can see across the top of the DDJ-400, and a few of the kind of master and beat effects selections. But apart from that, looking very, very similar. Now we'll pop this one back down. We'll take a look at setting this up. Now I had a little look at the quick start guide already, and in it, it says that you simply have to download the WeDJ app, or of course any of the other apps. So we saw already that, you know, DJ logarithm and edjay will work with that fine. Pop those over there for safekeeping. So the first things first is that we've got to power up the unit. So we'll open up this old USB cable. Don't know why I said old, because it's definitely not old. Brand new, fresh out of the pack. While I'm setting it up, I thought, let's have a little chat about who this is aimed at. Now, of course, Pioneer, you know, we all love and know they've been doing things for a long time. Now, for a while, I've had people asking me, you know, it tends to be more parents and younger people looking to get into DJing. Is there a controller that I can use that works with the iPad? Now, the answer for a while has been not too easily. There were a few different models that, you know, potentially did work with an iPad, things like a couple of the Hercules ones, and from Pioneer, the WeGo 3. Now, I think the guys at Pioneer have sat down and decided that the price point on the WeGo 3, which was priced at about £300, so it wasn't, you know, it wasn't cheap, was probably a little bit too much for beginner DJs, people that have never really, you know, done any DJing before, and so this one is aimed at them. So it's probably not for DJs like myself, and maybe not even for DJs like you. It's more about beginners. So it's not for so much for the hobbyists, and more for that kind of people. We're looking at stuff like the DDJ-400, but it's for people that really just want to start getting into DJing. In here, we've got a lovely little headphone splitter. Throw that this end into the headphone socket of your phone. So we've got an iPhone here. Pop that in there, and we're there now given two little adapters. Now, one of these is for your headphones, so you can hear tracks before you cue them up, and one of them is for your speakers. So we've already got it set up here, ready to go. I'm going to plug the speaker output into there like so, and we're going to get some headphones. We'll plug these headphones in, and that is essentially the setup ready to go. Now, it's just to note, we're running into this Focusrite. You wouldn't need to. Ideally, in most scenarios, you'd probably just go straight from this, maybe via a 3.5mm jack to 3.5mm jack, straight into your speakers. You could come straight out the speakers on the phone there. You can come into the Focusrite. We're going to go from the Focusrite into the speakers and into the camera. The next thing is to connect up your DDJ-200. So we'll click on the settings on WeDJ Go, and we see here we've got connect the DDJ-200. Now, Bluetooth MIDI devices, I click on that DDJ-200, and there we are, she's connected. Ooh, she's gone back to a nice little loading screen, so we'll simply go back and done. Now, we can see there, as I move that, nice. So turn that up a little bit for myself, for you guys at home. Yeah, you've got those levels coming in. So, As with, you know, the majority of DJ controllers out there, we've got free band EQ. So highs, mids, lows. Just like to notice that it's minus 26, so it's not an infinite kill on that one. We've got filters. We've got headphone cues, 1 and 2, so let's check those out. We whack the headphones on. Nice, got that straight in there. We've got the standard performance pads, which I presume are going to work like hot cues. So let's, and that's straight in. We've got the tempo change here, so let's look at that. We can see the tempos to the right hand side on channel 1 there, lining up, so that's 1, 2, 3. And we've got this side over here. So inside the app we can see we've got a couple of tracks, 1 track there, 1 track there. Now this is a 2-channel system, it's completely, you know, strictly 2-channel only, so it's one of the restrictions there for it. But let's click on there and we'll put a track in and let's find something that might be slightly house tempo. Got a bit of Migos. I Got You by Duke Jamon. That's definitely going to be a bit of a... Oh, so it's nice to notice here that he's actually offering us a free Loopmasters sample pack for the completion of a survey. Haven't got time for that, so we'll long that one off. But we can see here our track's loaded in. Now that's nice, it's analysing that track for us. Hasn't quite worked out the BPM yet, but we can see if we... Plays there nicely. Now I'm going to bring that down and we're just going to give it a second to just kind of work out its BPM. But my first reactions to this, feels pretty solid, feels pretty much how we're used to on a controller. To be honest, you know, for what it is, it's probably a point to note that it's £139. So this is by far the cheapest controller that Pioneer have ever made. And is right down there in the affordability range, up there with the kind of Mixtrack Pros and some of the Numark controllers and things like that. So that's a really good starting point for kind of beginner DJs and that. So let's just give it a little whirl, we'll give it a little mix. So we've got that on there. Use the headphones, of course. And you can see that has effectively mixed 2 tracks together. Now, the fact that you can just plug that straight into your phone, for us means so much. That means that you could just take this to the park. You know, as long as you've got a little bit of power, maybe from your laptop or something, you could just take this down, take it out with your mates, take it to a party, take it absolutely anywhere. I mean, look at the size of it. You could quite literally slip this in the smallest of bags and cart that around anywhere you go. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say about it. Can't really say, but you know, it's got everything you need. It's got cue, it's got play, it's got your tempo adjustments, it's got your platters. What more could you want from a controller for £139? Now, one of the beautiful things about this controller in particular is that, as we said, it runs on numerous apps. Now, each of these apps have a streaming capability built into them. So, and I'm not going to get this right, but off the top of my head, one of them's got interaction with Deezer, one of them's got SoundCloud integration, and one of them's got Spotify. Now what that means is that for people that maybe haven't built a massive music collection, but do subscribe to something like Spotify, you're going to be able to DJ with almost any of the tracks that are out there. What does that mean for DJing as a whole? Now, some people might argue that that's not great, that that's taken away from the art of DJing and the track collection and the building, and I'm kind of inclined to agree to a certain extent. However, for me, opening up a market to anybody that, you know, couldn't before get into DJing and opening it up to them has always been a good thing. You know, if we look back 30 years ago, almost no one could get into music and production because the kind of equipment you needed to make music or DJ and that kind of stuff was, you know, ridiculously expensive. It just wasn't viable for the majority of people. But now with controllers like this and other, you know, entry-level equipment, it really does mean that anybody can get into it and there isn't restrictions. And I think the more people that get into stuff, the bigger and better the scene will be, and the more interactive and the bigger and better the community. Now, as I said, there's not a whole lot more for me to say about this. I've been over the features. We've got platters, free band EQ, we've got filters, the channel faders, tempo. We've got a beat sync button here and if I hold shift, a tempo range adjust. It's got everything a beginner DJ would want. And one final thing to mention is that built into the app there, they actually have a DJ tutorial program. So it will run you through the basics of how to DJ. It's going to teach you, it's going to give you that first steps and that first lesson to really help get you on your way to DJing. So as we've got these in stock now, so be sure to check them out, £139 a piece. As always, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, chuck us a comment if you've got any questions, and as always, get in the mix.